10th F4 tornado since 1950, the first since 2011, and it is just unbelievable devastation like I haven't seen before. But this is a resilient community. We've got a great state response working with the locals, and the outpouring of support, volunteers, supplies has been unbelievable.
Well, Governor, firstly, can we walk along here and just take a look, because the high school was dealt quite a blow. And I was talking with the president of the school board earlier. She was telling me inside the high school, it's almost like it was like it imploded. The walls sucked in. We're talking incredible power, 170-mile-per-hour winds. That really did a lot of devastation here. So there's one thing about being the controller-in-chief, but there's also another thing about being the leader and guiding the state through this, especially after COVID, and how much money the state has spent on that. So what resources are available? How do you manage this on a state level?
Yeah, well, I've talked to the superintendent and the principal, so we're still waiting on them to kind of finish monitoring. But every building on the campus got hit. We got to see a lot of that from a second floor view up there, just the amount of damage in the high school. Obviously, it's not a safe environment to send kids back to. So we're going to wait on them to give us some direction, but we have a great record of working with our superintendents, our individual schools and local districts, and we'll be here to help them regardless of what the plan is. I think it's a little bit too early to tell right now. I do know from our briefing at the incident command, it is going to be days, not hours, before the power gets back on. If you look around, literally just power poles snapped in half, huge trees that are laying on power lines, and then I was talking to our Georgia Emergency Management Director, Chris Stones, about this. And he said, normally you see an oak tree like the one behind us and the root ball. You're seeing these trees that have been moved 30 or 40 feet, which you don't normally see. So this is a massively powerful storm.
Governor, we were talking, you see the brick home right over there. That's a legacy home. The people who live there right now, her grandparents built that house. They were in the basement under a mattress. A mom, a dad, 2 kids under a mattress. And the lady who lives there, Ashley Jordan, was simply saying it was kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off. She just wanted it to be over. Just rip it off and rip the roof off and move on. When you hear stories like that, I'm sure you've heard them moving around. That's got to be difficult. Just as a Georgian, just as a man, hearing people living through this. What's it like for you personally?
Yeah, look, these are generational losses for a lot of people, but also, thanks be to God that there wasn't more loss of life in Georgia. We certainly saw our share of that around the South. Had a medical emergency tied to the storm response here. Unfortunately, our thoughts and prayers continue to go out from them. But this storm was like none I've ever seen. We were talking about that earlier, that even hurricane straps and foundation bolts and straps being pulled out of concrete. Usually you see a roof gone or maybe a floor gone, but you don't see the plates that attached to the foundation gone. Literally, it was pulling the metal out of the concrete foundation. It was how strong this was.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, devastating.
As you go around, you'll see other communities, because 2 tornadoes hit in Georgia. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. But one thing that we find on the Weather Channel is people helping people, Georgians helping Georgians. That's how you fix this at its level. One person helping another, times 10, times 20, and so on and so forth. Would you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, already seeing that. Look, we got some great partners that are normally responding to storms with us. And unfortunately, Georgia has been through this exercise before with devastating storms. When you think about Hurricane Michael and how it hit the southwestern part of our state. So we're used to this, and our people are responding. Our Georgia-based companies and others are responding with supplies and other things, and we're resilient people. We will build back, and we'll be there to help our neighbor.
Governor Brian Kemp, we do appreciate your time, sir. This is County Order. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. Yes, be safe. Very well. So then again, the governor, we're going to be continuing coverage here on the Weather Channel Live after these storms rip through the southern part of the United States. Land wasted so much. Stay tuned to the Weather Channel for the rest of this day, tomorrow, of course online, and keep you covered as far as everything going on here in Georgia and the other southern states.